Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to another video. Please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and hit that notification bell so you'll be updated on all my future content. So this video is going to focus on multi-digit subtraction that requires regrouping. Our model problem is 25,475 minus 14,837. And I'm going to go through step by step how to solve that problem. So before we do any subtraction, I always see if regrouping is needed. So I'm going to look through the problem. I'm going to see, are there any places where the bottom digit is bigger than the top digit? So after analyzing this problem, I see in the hundreds place, 8 is bigger than 4. You cannot start out with 4 and take away 8. The bottom digit is bigger. That needs to be regrouped. Also in the ones place, the bottom digit is bigger than the ones place. 7 is bigger than 5. That needs to be regrouped. You cannot start out with 5 and take away 7. So I'm going to do all of my regrouping before I do any subtraction. So I'm going to start out in the hundreds place. I'm going to take a 10 from the thousands place. That 4 is going to become a 14. That 5 is going to become a 4. Now going to the ones place, I'm going to take a 10 from the tens place. That 5 is going to become a 15. That 7 is going to become a 6. Now I'm going to check over the digits one more time. And then I'm going to start subtracting. So looking here, tens place is good. In a thousands place, both digits are the same, and that's okay. Both digits can be the same. The only time it's an issue is if the bottom digit is bigger. So if the top digit's equal or bigger than the bottom digit, we're okay. So we're good there. 14 is greater than 8. 6 is greater than 3. 15 is greater than 7. So we are ready to subtract. So we're going to start in the ones place now. When we subtract, we always start in the ones place. 15 minus 7 equals 8. 6 minus 3 equals 3. 14 minus 8 equals 6. Let me make that 6 a little bigger so it lines up. It doesn't look odd. 4 minus 4 equals 0. 2 minus 1 equals 1. And we have our final answer. 25,475 minus 14,837 equals 10,638. All right, I'm going to do one more problem. Shout out to everybody tuning in. Please hit that like button. I appreciate you. All right, 37,483 minus 22,907. So again, before I do any subtraction, I'm going to look and see where regrouping is needed. So looking at this problem, we need to regroup in the hundreds place. You cannot start out with 4 and take away 9. And again, we need to regroup in the ones place. Can't start out with 7 and take away 3. It is just a coincidence that it's the same two areas that we need to regroup, but here we are. So I'm going to take a 10 from the thousands place. That 7 is going to become a 6. That 4 is going to become a 14. Then I'm going to take a 10 from the tens place. That 3 is going to become a 13. That 8 is going to become a 7. And now we are ready to subtract. Starting in the ones place, 13 minus 7 equals 6. 7 minus 0 equals 7. 14 minus 9 equals 5. 6 minus 2 equals 4. 3 minus 2 equals 1. And we have our final answer. 37,483 minus 22,907 equals 14,576. All right, moving on now to the final problem of the video. Shout out to everybody tuning in. Please hit that like button. I appreciate you. 92,891 minus 15,994. So again, we're going to look and see where regrouping is needed before we do any subtraction. And even on subtraction problems where regrouping is not required, you should always check. You should always check before you subtract. So, looking at this problem, we are going to need to regroup in thousands place. 5 is bigger than 2. You can't start out with 2 and take away 5. We're going to need to regroup in the hundreds place. 9 is bigger than 8. You can't start out with 8 and take away 9. We're going to need to regroup in the ones place. You can't start out with 1 and take away 4. And as of right now, we don't need to regroup in the tens place, but once we get into the regrouping, we may have to regroup eventually if we're going to take a 10 from the tens place and add it to the ones place. But let's get into it. I always regroup from left to right, and then I subtract from right to left. So, I'm going to take a 10 from the 10,000s place. That 2 is going to become a 12. That 9 is going to become an 8. It's always add 10 and then take away 1 from the digit to the left. Now in the hundreds place, I need to add a 10, so that 8 is going to become an 18, and then that 12 in the thousands place is going to become an 11. Now in the ones place, I'm going to add a 10. I'm going to take a 10 from the tens place. That 1's going to become an 11, and that 9's going to become an 8. As I said, we did not need to regroup initially in the tens place, but we do now because we just took a 10 from the tens place to the ones place. So the 8 in the tens place is going to become an 18, and then the 18 in the hundreds place is going to become a 17. All right, now I believe we're ready to subtract, but I'm going to double check. 8 is greater than 1, 11 is greater than 5, 17 is greater than 9, 18 is greater than 9, 11 is greater than 4. All the top digits are bigger. We are now ready to subtract. 11 minus 4 equals 7. 18 minus 9 equals 9. 17 minus 9 equals 8. 11 minus 5 equals 6. And 8 minus 1 equals 7. And we have our final answer. 92,891 minus 15,994 equals 76,897. Shout out to everybody tuning in. Please hit that like button. I appreciate you. I was going to call it a video, but I think I'm going to keep it going. Let me just put my phone on the charger so we have battery for this next problem here. All right. 54,379 minus 35,483. That'll probably be the final problem of the video. So again, we're going to see if any regrouping is needed before we even get into the subtraction. We always see where we need to regroup. So looking at this problem, we are going to need to regroup in the thousands place because 5 is bigger than 4. You can't start out with 4 and take away 5. In the hundreds place, you cannot start out with 3 and take away 4, so we need to regroup in the hundreds place. And in the tens place, you can't start out with 7 and take away 8. So we are going to need to regroup in the thousands place, the hundreds place, and the tens place. So I always regroup from left to right, and then I subtract from right to left. So we're going to take a 10 from the 10,000s place. That 5 will become a 4. That 4 is going to become a 14. Now we're going to take a 10 from the thousands place and add that to the hundreds place. So the 3 is going to become a 13. And then the 14 is also going to become a 13 because we have to take away 1. So always add and take away 1 from the digit to the left. So that 7 is going to become a 17. And that 13 is going to become a 12. And now I'm going to double check, but I think we are ready to subtract. 4 is bigger than 3, 13 is bigger than 5, 12 is bigger than 4, 17 is bigger than 8, 9 is bigger than 3. We are ready to subtract. All right, so 9 minus 3 equals 6. 17 minus 8 equals 9. 12 minus 4 equals 8. 13 minus 5 also equals 8. And 4 minus 3 equals 1. And we have our final answer. 54,379 minus 35,483 equals 18,896. All right, that is my video for today. Thank you so much for tuning in. Leave a comment, let me know what you thought of the video, and if there's an area of math or reading that you're having difficulty with, put that in the comments, and I will do a future video on that skill. Until next time, this is Mr. Camilleri signing off.